The Book of Ecclesiastes, life, meaning, and a whole lot of vanity. Ecclesiastes, the book in the Bible where King Solomon, allegedly, gets a little existential, maybe even a bit moody. It's like he woke up one morning, looked at his empire, all his riches, wisdom, and accomplishments, and went, "What's the point of all this?" You know, the kind of deep life questions we all ask at 3 a.m. when we can't sleep. Except, instead of random tweets, Solomon wrote an entire biblical book about it. Ecclesiastes is a philosophical exploration of life's meaning, purpose, and how everything can feel like, well, vanity. Yep, the word vanity, which basically means meaningless, shows up over 30 times into the book. But don't worry, it's not as depressing as it sounds. In fact, Ecclesiastes is surprisingly relatable, humorous, in a dry, wisdom-filled way, and packed with practical life lessons. So, let's dive in and see how Solomon's ancient wisdom still speaks to us today, and have a little fun along the way. Chapter 1. Solomon's Quarter-Life Crisis. Ecclesiastes kicks off with Solomon, who's basically having what we'd now call a quarter-life, or maybe midlife, crisis. He starts by declaring, "Meaningless, meaningless, everything is meaningless." Ecclesiastes 1, verse 2. Well, all right then, not exactly the uplifting start we were hoping for, but hang tight, it gets better. Solomon's first observation is this: life feels repetitive. He looks at the world and sees the same things happening over and over again. The sun rises, the sun sets, the wind blows, the rivers flow into the sea, but nothing ever changes. He's like, what's the point? We just keep going in circles. Sounds a lot like how Mondays feel, doesn't it? Basically, Solomon is telling us that if we only look at life from a human perspective, it can seem like a hamster wheel. A lot of running, but not much progress. Chapter 2. Solomon tries it all, and still feels empty. In Chapter 2, Solomon takes things up a notch. He's like, okay, if life feels meaningless, maybe I just haven't tried hard enough to find happiness. So, he does what any king with unlimited resources would do. He throws himself into pleasure. Solomon tries it all. Parties, building projects, gardens, vineyards, treasure, music, you name it. If Solomon had an Instagram, it'd be filled with selfies of him at the most extravagant of parties and standing in front of the greatest palaces ever built. But here's the kicker. After all that, he still feels empty. Everything was meaningless. A chasing after the wind, he says in Ecclesiastes 2, verse 11. At this point, Solomon is like that friend who goes on a wild adventure to find themselves, only to come back and say, hey, turns out that wasn't it. So, what's his conclusion? None of it will truly satisfy. Chapters 3 and 4. A time for everything. Even complaining? Now let's get to one of the most well-known parts of Ecclesiastes, Chapter 3, where Solomon tells us there's a time for everything. You've probably heard it at weddings, funerals, or even in classic rock songs. Solomon lists out all the seasons of life. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to weep, a time to laugh, and so on. His point? Life is a series of changing seasons, and no matter what season we're in, it's all part of the bigger picture. It's a reminder that even though life can feel repetitive or meaningless at times, there's a purpose in every moment. But because this is Ecclesiastes, Solomon can't help but throw in a little grumbling. In chapters 4 and 5, he talks about the injustice and oppression he sees in the world. He's like, seriously? Why do bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people? And honestly, we can all relate to that. Sometimes, life just doesn't make sense. Chapter 6. Solomon's got 99 problems, but wealth ain't one. By chapter 6, Solomon's back on his riches are meaningless kick. He's like, look, I've got all the wealth, and guess what? It didn't solve my problems. This is where Solomon really sounds like he's reached the peak of his first world problems. He even says that if you have all the wealth in the world but don't enjoy life, it's better to not have been born. Whoa, Solomon, that escalated quickly. The lesson here? Money can't buy happiness. Solomon's like, yeah, I've tried that. Trust me, it doesn't work. If Solomon had a financial advisor, he'd probably be telling everyone to focus less on their bank accounts and more on finding true joy and meaning in life. Chapters 7 to 10. Life hacks from Solomon. Next up, Solomon drops a bunch of wisdom one-liners that sound like they could be pulled from a motivational poster or a self-help book. It's like, here's a list of life hacks I've learned along the way. A good name is better than fine perfume. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 1. Translation: Your reputation matters more than material things. The end of a matter is better than its beginning. Ecclesiastes 7 verse 8. Translation: stick with things, because finishing strong is what counts. Do not be over-righteous, neither be over-wise. Why destroy yourself? Ecclesiastes 7 verse 16. Translation: don't try to be a know-it-all. No one likes that person. In chapters 9 and 10, Solomon also reminds us that life is unpredictable. He says, the race is not to the swift or the battle to the strong, meaning that sometimes things don't go the way you expect. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and the key is to roll with it and trust God's bigger plan. Chapters 11 and 12. Remember your Creator before you're old and grumpy. As Ecclesiastes comes to a close, Solomon offers some advice that hits hard, especially for younger folks. He says, remember your Creator in the days of your youth. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1. Basically, don't wait until you're old and jaded to start thinking about God. Life is short, and you don't want to spend your best years chasing things that won't last. He also gives a poetic and slightly grim description of old age, where everything starts to break down. Your vision fades, your hands shake, your legs give out. Thanks for the uplifting visual, Solomon. His point? Life is fleeting, so focus on what really matters while you still can. So in conclusion, Ecclesiastes' big takeaway. So what's the final message of Ecclesiastes? Is it really all just meaningless? Well, not quite. After all his searching and existential crises, Solomon ends with this: fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the duty of all mankind. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. In other words, after trying everything under the sun, Solomon realizes that the only thing that truly matters is living a life centered on God. Everything else is temporary, but God's purpose for us is eternal. Ecclesiastes reminds us that while life can feel confusing, repetitive, and even meaningless at times, true meaning comes from knowing and serving God. Solomon's message is a wake-up call to stop chasing after things that won't last and to focus on what really matters.